When my wife dragged me into court for the 10th time, I was nothing like the man I'd been before. I stood at the defendant's table, back straight, staring at her coldly. Before the judge could even finish the plaintiff's statement, I cut in. Your Honor, you don't need to say another word. I agree to the divorce, and I'm willing to give up all of our marital assets. I'll walk away with nothing. But the wife who had already sued me 9 times was the one left stunned. She hurriedly tried to withdraw the case, but I'd already signed and thumbprinted the divorce papers. Looking at Sue Wonking, who had barely looked me in the eye once in 5 years, I suddenly felt sick. After I walked out of the courthouse, the harsh sunlight made me dizzy for a second. I took a deep breath of that long-lost taste of freedom. But my mind kept replaying every time Sue Wonking had dragged me into court. Back then, I was like a puppet whose strings had been pulled for too long. Every time she asked for a divorce, I threw away my pride to hold together a marriage that was already falling apart. Back then, I really believed that if I just held on long enough, she'd eventually see how good I was to her. But the night after she filed for divorce the 9th time shattered every last illusion I had. That day, to help her lock down a headlining spot at a huge international music festival, I had no choice but to suck it up and entertain a major investor who was notorious for being impossible to deal with. They took the chance to force drink after drink on me, from baijiu to whiskey, pouring it all straight into my stomach until 2 in the morning. My stomach started twisting in pain, and I threw up a mouthful of blood. The pain was so intense I could barely move, and cold sweat soaked through my shirt in seconds. I wanted to call a cab and get myself to the hospital, but it felt like my insides were being ripped apart. I didn't even have the strength to stand up. In 5 years of marriage, that was the first time I ever gave in to her. My hands were shaking when I called Sue Wonking and begged her to come get me and take me to the hospital. But on the other end of the line, Sue Wonking's voice was ice cold. Gu Chen, are you seriously doing this right now? Do you even know Yufeng's throat got inflamed during recording today? I'm with him right now while he does a breathing treatment. Why are you acting so weak? You used to be a top producer. Everyone in the industry knows how much you can drink. You're drunk, not crippled. Get a cab and get your ass home, be good, and stop bothering me. Or next time we're in court, I'm divorcing you for real. Clutching my cramping stomach, I was in so much pain I was barely conscious. All I could do was listen to the dead tone after she hung up on me. I curled up on the freezing asphalt in the alley behind the bar, with rain and cold sweat stinging my eyes. In that moment, the pain didn't just spread through my body, it froze my heart solid. Right before I passed out, I gritted my teeth and said into the empty air, "Fine, next time we're in court, I'll respect your choice." When I woke up, I found myself lying on a cold hospital bed. A cleaning lady had found me and called 120. The nurse told me that if I'd gotten there just 30 minutes later, I probably would have gone into hemorrhagic shock and died in the rain that night. Right then, Sue Wonking called. "Where are you?" Her voice still carried that same superior, condescending edge. "Central Hospital." My voice was hoarse and I felt nothing. She seemed to pause for a second, then hung up. The next second, a video call came through. I still had an IV in my hand, and in the panic I answered it, exposing the pale hospital room and all the machines behind me. When Sue Wonking saw it, a trace of concern flashed in her eyes for the first time in forever, but it disappeared just as fast. Her usual cold sarcasm came right back. "Gu Chen, you really are something. No wonder you used to win Best Producer. Your acting is honestly impressive. You rented a whole hospital bed just to trick me into showing up?" She didn't believe for a second that I was actually seriously ill. What made it even more pathetic was that I couldn't tell whether she did it on purpose. She casually adjusted the phone camera and revealed the background behind her. It was the limited edition bear brick in Lin Yufeng's apartment. The same one Sue Wonking had bought with my card and given him for his birthday. If this had happened before, I would have completely lost it. I would have done everything I could to apologize to her, begging over and over for her not to leave me and not to keep getting tangled up with that man. But now, I just leaned quietly against the pillow, stared out at the dead tree outside the window, and asked calmly, "What do you need?" There was no answer. When I turned back, I realized Sue Wonking had already left the frame. Just as I was about to hang up, Lin Yufeng showed up on screen in a loose set of pajamas. "Oh wow, Chen, I'm so sorry." That fake innocent face of his was wearing the sweetest, most manipulative smile. "It's all my fault. You had to go home alone last night, and now you've even taken the act all the way to the hospital. My throat was bothering me last night, and luckily Wonking stayed by my side the whole time and took care of me all night. She's exhausted. She just went to the kitchen to warm up some milk for me. I really feel bad for Wonking, so if you're mad, take it out on me. Please don't blame her." His fake concern was so over the top I actually laughed. Right then, I heard Sue Wonking hurrying back from off camera. She snatched the phone from him and tossed it onto the couch, and the screen instantly went black. But I could still hear the two of them clearly. "Why are you running around barefoot? Just to apologize to him?" Sue Wonking's voice was full of a softness and concern she'd never once shown me. "Yufeng, what do you even have to apologize to him for? He's a grown man and can't even take care of himself. He drinks a little and acts like he's dying. Who else is he supposed to blame? Go put your shoes on before you catch cold. Your voice has a concert to carry." That soft, gentle tone hit like a rusty knife, slicing through my nerves bit by bit. I didn't hesitate for even a second. I hung up, and just like that, another memory came flooding back. Sue Wonking had insisted on shooting a real water scene for one of Lin Yufeng's music videos. Lin Yufeng was too scared to get in the water, so she pushed me in over and over instead, even though I was burning up with a high fever. She even said, "You're my husband, of course you should help me." That night, my fever was pushing 104. I was shaking all over, and all she did was hand me some random fever medicine she had lying around. "Take this for now. Yufeng got scared today. He's emotionally fragile, and he needs to go to the hospital for a checkup. He can't go alone." To this day, she still doesn't know that pill had been expired for 2 years. That night, I almost died at home from a fever-induced seizure. The memory snapped off, my clenched fists slowly loosened, and suddenly I felt lighter than I had in years. I picked up my phone and tapped on a WeChat profile named Shenyu. Shenyu had been my closest friend before I left the industry. Now he owned the biggest independent label in Chinese pop. I typed him a message. "I've made up my mind. I accept your offer. I just hope it's not too late to come back." He replied almost instantly. Even through the screen, I could feel how excited he was. "Damn, you finally came to your senses. It's been 5 years. I've been waiting 5 damn years to hear you say that. I'm calling a meeting with the top execs right now and clearing out the best resources for you. Jueyin, welcome back." Early the next morning, I went straight to Su Won-King's agency. "What did you just say? You're transferring all your shares and stepping down as chief music director?" Assistant Zhao's eyes went wide. He looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "Brother Chen, are you crazy? If you do this, you'll have zero say in the company anymore. You won't even be Won-King's manager." I looked at the overreacting assistant in front of me and calmly started packing up my desk. Ever since I left the spotlight and became Su Won-King's behind-the-scenes fixer and manager, she had been the only artist I'd ever worked for. I wrote songs for her, pulled in resources for her, drank for her, cleaned up every mess she made. I'd done it for so long that even I started to think it was just my job. "I'm done." I said it flatly as I stuffed the last few confidential score drafts into my bag. After transferring all my work permissions, I formatted the computer's hard drive. On that drive were the full master tracks for a brand new God-tier album I had originally planned to give her as a 5th wedding anniversary gift. I didn't need it anymore. Ignoring the assistant's stunned expression, I pushed open the office door and walked out. The second I got downstairs, I got a call from a paparazzi reporter I knew. "Guchen, this is bad. Your superstar wife is about to get hit with a huge scandal. Get to Caesar Hotel now." I took a deep breath of the cold morning air. Legally, we were still only one step away from being fully divorced, and I didn't want to get dragged into some ugly marital scandal, so I got in a cab and headed to Caesar Hotel. When I got to the penthouse suite, I used the spare key card I'd gotten back when I used to take care of her and let myself in. What I saw was beyond disgusting. In broad daylight, Su Won-King was holed up in a hotel room with Lin Yufeng. At that moment, Su Won-King was half-dressed, crouching by the bed, carefully holding Lin Yufeng's supposedly sprained ankle and gently rubbing medicine onto it. I only gave them one cold glance before looking away. Hearing the door open, both of them jerked their heads up. Su Won-King instinctively pulled her clothes tighter, while Lin Yufeng looked panicked for a second, then smug. "The paparazzi got pictures of you. The whole downstairs area is packed with reporters." I stated it like a fact, with no expression at all, like I was talking about the weather. Su Won-King snapped back to her senses, threw on a coat, and stood up with a cold look on her face. Lin Yufeng took the chance to let out a fake little groan and lean into Su Won-King. "Won-King, my ankle suddenly really hurts." Su Won-King immediately steadied him and turned to me. There wasn't a shred of guilt in her eyes, not even after being caught. Instead, she looked perfectly justified. "I just bought some medicine and brought him upstairs so I could treat his ankle. Don't look at us with that filthy expression." I almost laughed. In 5 years, this was the first time she'd ever bothered to explain herself to me, but all I did was nod vaguely. I didn't even want to waste one extra word. Seeing that I gave her nothing, Lin Yufeng clung to Su Won-King's arm and deliberately raised his voice to get under my skin. "It's all my fault. I shouldn't have asked Won-King to drive me. I caused trouble for you again. Brother Chen is probably jealous and about to throw another fit." Su Won-King soothed him in a voice so gentle it was almost dripping. "It's fine. Gu Chen is here, isn't he? He's the best manager in the business when it comes to cleaning up PR disasters like this." I sneered to myself. For the last 5 years, I'd lost count of how many dirty scandals I'd cleaned up for her. Every single time, I was the one bowing and scraping in front of the media, apologizing and explaining like some pathetic clown. But now I was free. "I'll call some of the other artists at the company and have them come to this room right away. Tell the public this was just a team script reading. The rest is on you." I dropped those words in a businesslike tone and turned to leave. What a pain. Su Won-King cut me off impatiently, rubbed her temples, and let out a mocking laugh. Her eyes landed on my back, and a cold, patronizing smile curled at her lips. "Gu Chen, why make this so complicated? Aren't you right here? We're still legally married. Just go downstairs and tell the reporters we were here together, and Yufeng was only stopping by as a friend. As long as you step in, the rumors die on their own." I froze, then slowly turned around and looked at that unreasonable woman, instinctively shaking my head. Su Won-King had already been frowning, but now her face went completely dark. Her spoiled temper exploded on the spot. "How long are you going to keep this up? Is this because you got drunk, ended up in the hospital once, and I didn't come see you? I already explained it to you. Yufeng needed someone with him. You're a grown man. Why are you this petty?" She clicked over in her heels, stopped right in front of me, bent down slightly, and looked at me with pure arrogance. "Gu Chen, don't forget this. Everything you have now came from me. We're only a few days away from the next hearing. If you go downstairs right now and clean this up, I can consider dropping the case. Otherwise..." I looked at her calm and steady, at that beautiful face that now felt completely foreign to me, and spoke in the coldest tone possible. "There won't be a next hearing. If you've forgotten, let me remind you. Yesterday in court, I already signed and thumbprinted the divorce papers. Now we're just waiting for the cooling off period to end so we can pick up the certificate. Your mess has nothing to do with me anymore." Just as I said that, hurried footsteps and the sound of people shoving each other came from outside the door. The paparazzi and reporters had already bribed housekeeping and pushed their way right up to the door. Lin Yufeng, the rising traffic star who always acted polished in public, was scared out of his mind now. His face turned pale as he grabbed Su Won-King's sleeve. "I'm sorry, Won-King.